What's up everyone, you're very welcome along. It is Monday night and we are back after a few days off. It's match week, finally we get to say that. I know it's only been 1 week that the Reds haven't been in action, but my god does it feel like forever. We can officially start the countdown now to the Reds game against Norwich on Saturday, and of course the Champions League tie against Atletico coming up the Tuesday after that as well. I've missed you guys. It's been a few days, but you know what? I've got a little bit of rest, which was very much needed. I hope you're all keeping well. Loads for us to get through tonight. A couple of new members that have signed up as well since we were last here. Thank you to those guys as well. The Maharani's Closet, and I can't remember who the other guy's name was. I do apologise, but welcome. Welcome to the family. How are we? Loads of you in the chat already, which is beautiful to see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I know a lot of you guys would have been grabbed by the thumbnail tonight and the title of the stream, so don't worry, we'll get into it. We'll get through everything that you want to talk about. This is your show, ladies and gentlemen. How are we? Crosby's in the house. Did you shave my eyebrows? I swear to God, 2 seconds into the stream, I said to myself, I did actually, you're right. You're right, Crosby. I did give them a little trim. Do you know what I mean? Trying to keep them fleek and all. But I said, I bet you Connor notices. And you fucking did as well. You don't miss a trick, boy. You do not miss a trick. Champion. There we are. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with a little bit of good news. Start off even. But a little bit of good news tonight, shall we? Because we haven't had much of that lately. Yeah, right. Well, the fucking Reds has been nothing but good news. But look, Sadio Mane has returned to training, which is great news. After that muscle injury that he had. Great to hear that Sadio's back on the training ground. Obviously, the lads reported back to Melwood today after the little winter break. And Sadio took part in training, which is the news that we all wanted to hear. Looks like he should be in contention for the weekend. Definitely for the game against Atleti. Absolutely tickety-boo, ladies and gents. I don't know what else to say. That is brilliant, brilliant news. Sometimes when you hear a few weeks, you get a little bit nervous. Do you know what I mean? You get a little bit, is it really? But yes, it is. And he's back as promised, as delivered. Well done to everybody. Well done to the medical staff. Well done to Sadio for looking after himself. But yeah, great to have Sadio back in training. Is James Milner back? Yes, he is, Stephen. I believe he is as well. There was some nice images put out today of the Reds back in training, meeting some fans beforehand, signing some autographs, photos with some kids, all the lovely stuff that you like to see. What else we got? Craig, when will we win the league? I don't know, Red Man. I mean, look, 6 games is worst case scenario, buddy, isn't it? 6 games, I think, mathematically would do it if we won every single one of them. Obviously, Manchester City had their game postponed. Was it Saturday? Sunday, because of the bad... What was yesterday, Craig? Because of the bad weather. So that'll have to be rescheduled. I don't know when that'll be rescheduled for. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But there's so much stuff that has happened over the past couple of days. Let me start off as well by saying congratulations to Jordan Henderson and to Mohamed Salah. Both became fathers again over the international break. Hendo's wife Rebecca gave birth to a baby boy, and Mohamed Salah's wife Maggie gave birth to a baby girl. And you know what? I'm not even making this up. I'm sure you've read this on social media. 9 months and 1 day since the Reds defeated Barcelona 4-0 at Anfield. Mohamed Salah and Jordan Henderson's wife, 2 new babies. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Hendo fell in exhaustion at the end of that game, but you know what? He still had it in him. He was still able to go home and deliver. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations again to El Capitan and the King of Egypt for the birth of their new daughter or the new son and the new daughter. It's beautiful, wonderful to hear. Delighted. Mother and baby's all looking good as well by the looks of things, which is brilliant. It's exactly what you want to hear. So yeah, massive congratulations to the Henderson family and to the Salah family. Yeah, you love to see it, ladies and gents. 9 months. 9 months on from that game against Barca. Mohamed Salah said never give up. He wasn't giving up, was he? He wasn't giving up, Mo. He got there in the end. Well, rumours have it Salah wasn't even injured. He just... I can't read that out, Harrison. I can't read that out, sir. It's what we're all thinking, mate, for the laugh, but I can't read it out. I respect the man too much. Hendo Jr. will play for Liverpool, said Ashley Woodpepper. Imagine he went on and captained the Reds. Imagine like we had Trent, Curtis Jones, and then following on from that down the line, Jordan Henderson's son came and captained the Reds. That would be fucking sweet, wouldn't it? I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, though. Right, Joshua. Let me start off with the funny transfer story, I should say. Joshua Gomersall has mentioned it there. So there's been a few stories doing the rounds. I don't know where it started from. Could have been the Rag. I'm not 100% sure. I see a German journalist come out and diss this. But there are rumours that Roberto Firmino has been linked to a £75 million interest or deal or rumour, whatever you want to call it, to Bayern Munich. Now, look, let's be realistic about this. Firstly, fuck off. Let's all start and agree on that one, right? We're all happy with that, yeah? Fuck off. We can push that to one side now. 75 million buys you Roberto Firmino's big toe, as far as I'm concerned. He is the most important player in our front three, bar none, and there is absolutely no way that you're getting him for 75 million or that you're getting him. Now, I don't even know if this is just complete bullshit made up to try and get clicks, because we all know any story regarding Liverpool players will drive clicks, because Liverpool are WFM, do you know what I mean? We've seen the one with Virgil van Dijk as well being linked to the Juventus a while back. Look, if these aren't happening, they're not going anywhere. He's working at the best club with the best manager and the best fans and the best players. Why the hell would he? So I think we can safely push that Roberto Firmino to Bayern Munich story into the nonsense pile and leave it there where it belongs, because it's shy. I'll give you, what was this, 100 grand if I end my stream. I'll tell you what, yoinks, you can take your 100 grand, mate. You can stick it up your Swiss roll and I'll carry on streaming. Does that work? That works for me, buddy. Hope it works for you. Rabadan, first super chat of the night, sir. How are you? Says, if Adrian goes back to Real Betis so he can play regularly, which I'd not begrudge him, who should we get in to replace him? Firstly, good point, mate, and one that I was forgetting to bring up, so appreciate that. Yes, I think we might have touched on this the other night, but it does look like Adrian may well go back to Real Betis in the summer, which was, of course, a club that he played for earlier on in his career. And to answer Rabadan's question, I think Kikir is probably the answer there. Umar Kikir is somebody who Liverpool have been looking at from Trabzonspor, or at least been linked to for quite a while now. And I always wondered, this season particularly, why that link was still there. Well, then I seen this story start to come out about a potential move for Adrian back to Real Betis, and much like yourself, mate, there is some sense to it. I never begrudge somebody wanting to go and play football. And when you're getting to the latter part of your career, and I know a goalkeeper can go on till he's mid to late 30s, but the dude wants to play football. And if he wants to play football after the amazing year that he will have had with Liverpool, then like yourself, mate, I don't begrudge him that move either. But Kikir seems to be the one that is most likely to come in. Now, I don't know how highly the club rate Guivin Kelleher. I don't know if Guivin will get the backup slot. I'd be surprised, considering his lack of experience, to be fair. But Kikir will be my guess, mate, if he moves on. But will Kikir want to come in to be number 2? Because, let's face it, you ain't getting rid of Alisson. Alisson is our numero uno, and rightly so. Darkness said, like I said, Bobby Firmino is priceless. Si, senor. And welcome, by the way, to everyone in tonight. Our new members, our old members, our regular subscribers. How are you? Great to see you in. If you do want to sign up to the membership, guys, remember there is a link in the description below. There should also be a button beside your subscribe button. And we've had a tremendous uptake in this, so absolutely thank you so much to everyone. And it starts off at 99p, by the way, so it's as cheap as we could possibly make it. What's Wijnaldum's contract news? Have we not gone back a couple of streams here? Did we not talk about Wijnaldum in the last one? I might be completely losing the plot here, buddy, but it looks like he's going to sign the new deal anyway. To cut a long story short, it looks like Gini Wijnaldum will sign the new deal at the club if all the talk is to be believed. But I thought we covered that a couple of streams ago, mate. Excuse me if I didn't. Werner has apparently said he'll come to Liverpool in the summer, said Scotty. I'm hearing so many conflicting reports on the whole team of Werner thing, Scotty, that I honestly don't know what to believe, mate. We know a couple of things are true. We know that there's a release clause in there that seems to be around 60 million euro, which is, I think, equates to around 50 to 52 million pounds, something like that. We know that he's available maybe in the summer, but he's also fighting for the league title right now at Leipzig, and they're still in the Champions League, of course, as well. So I don't know. It makes sense. That move had always made sense to me, but I wonder why we didn't do it last year before he signed that new contract at Leipzig. That's what always made me a little bit wary about this one. But look, whatever happens in the summer, and I don't want to predict because I don't know. I've always said this. I, like everybody else, I'm just a fan that takes a little bit of information from the media, comes in here, chats about it. We try and come to a consensus on what we all think or don't think, and we go from there. Don't worry. For those of you coming in a little bit late, we haven't talked about the Coutinho stuff yet. We haven't talked about the Kai Havertz stuff yet, and I will get round to it very soon. Don't you worry about that. But there's more transfer news after coming out over the past couple of days as well. So a story that seems to emanate from France suggests that Liverpool had a 35 million euro bid for Villarreal Samuel Chukwueze rejected last month. Now, we've been linked to Chukwueze for quite a while. Somebody who reminds me a bit like Iñaki Williams, in that he's a very raw talent that seems to be staying quite raw, although coming on a bit with Villarreal this year. Somebody whose name has been linked to Liverpool for a couple of windows now, but I'm a little bit doubtful about this one, and here's why. So we know we already have, 2-3 players maybe heading away to the AFCON, which has been moved back to January, I think next year, December, January. So why bring in another one that would be going away, particularly in this summer window? Chukwuezi's a talent. I'm not going to deny it. And if it is 35 million euro, then that would be a very reasonable figure for somebody with the potential that Chukwuezi seems to have. But I don't know. I don't know if it's lazy journalism. I don't know if it's because it's been quiet around Liverpool. And the fact that this story emanates from France as well just doesn't seem to make any sense. You're talking about an African player that's playing in the Spanish league, but yet the story's coming from France. I think his agent's Portuguese as well, if I'm correct on that one. So, yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me, ladies and gents. But again, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the whole Chukwuezi rumour. And I like saying Chukwuezi as well, because it's a pretty fucking cool name. What would we guess? Amir said he wouldn't mind either. Don't worry, we'll get to it. We'll get fully stuck into the Kai Havertz and Felipe Coutinho stuff. I just want to give people a few minutes to come in, because often people don't get notifications straight away. And it's in no one's interest, you know what I mean, if we just repeat the same stuff over and over again. Anyone that Klopp takes under his wing, he turns into a beast, said Keegan. Can't argue with facts, Keegan, mate. Cannot argue with facts. Let's not forget Coutinho is about 30. I think he's 27 or 28, mate. I don't think he's 30. I think he's 27, if I'm correct. Now, you know me with ages. I always get this shit wrong. How was the weather in Dublin today? My brother was flying on a plane from Dublin to Glasgow. Well, I don't live in Dublin, Scotty, mate. I live about an hour to the southeast. It was okay. It was fairly windy. I believe there was a little bit of sleet up in Dublin, but I hope your brother's plane landed safely, mate. V8 said he did the stadium tour today. Nice one. Haven't done it since the new main stand was built. Yeah, nice one. Well in. Okay, who else have we got? And it's a massive if, Coutinho was signed again, he'd be more of a bench warmer. Oh, Willow, I'll get to it. I promise you, I know you're all impatient and I get you. I just hate repeating the same stuff over and over again. So I'm trying to give people a few minutes to just get those notifications and come in. As you can probably hear, I'm a bit less nasally than I have been recently, which is great. A couple of days rest did me the world of good. I was almost quarantined to a certain extent because my 15-year-old daughter is off skiing with her school. She doesn't go to a posh boarding school or and she's in what's transition year here in Ireland, and they usually do a trip abroad in those years. So yeah, she's going off to Italy skiing with her school, and she didn't want to get sick, so she basically said, you stay the fuck in there, I'm not getting sick, yeah, just stay away from me. So I was basically, bedridden for the past couple of days, which isn't too bad, to be fair, when you've got, Sky up there and you're watching all the football. What else we got? Craig, I'd love to sign Havertz and Werner. Watching the two of them would be pornography, said Subi. How are you, Subi, by the way? Feels like a while, buddy. Big LC, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my friend, the newest member. I honestly can't believe the uptake that we've had in the memberships. I thought if we got ourselves 100 members, that would be amazing. I think as things stand now, we're about 160, something like that. So again, thank you to everyone that signed up. You are helping to secure the future of the channel, and it means the world to us. Keegan said, flu gone, eyebrows done, loving life. So I'm on a diet as well, Keegan, so I'm trying to even take care of the weight side of things as well. Owen said, do I want Coutinho back? V8 said you had the coronavirus. See, I know that's a joke, mate. I get it, but it's not really something to be joking about at this particular moment in time. One of those too soon moments, maybe. Mbappe, that's more of a discussion. To Joseph, I think it's more of a dream, Joseph, mate. I mean, we've had the discussion many, many times, and I think we can only come to the conclusion that Kylian Mbappe would enrich any team. Is enrich the right word? That was probably a bit of a slip there. He would certainly help any club that he came to and enhance any team, but I think it's just doesn't make any sense, mate. When you add up the numbers and stuff, possible destabilisation of players in the dressing room. I say possible because the truth is none of us know if anybody would be pissed off if he came in on, I don't know, let's say £500,000 a week, because I've no idea what he'd be paid. Megasteen 1981 said Trent was asked on Twitter, Messi or Ronaldo, and he said Hendo. Yeah, I'd seen a few little bits and pieces about that. I'm trying to swerve Twitter as much as I can, but I did see that there was an Ask Trent hashtag floating around, and I've seen some of his answers, which are quite good. He's a bit boring with the Albickies, though, isn't he? I think he said Bourbon Cream. Bourbon Cream was one of his favourite biscuits. I mean, Trent, come on, mate. Chocolate Hobnob is the go-to answer, mate. That's it. Chocolate Hobnob, that's the answer, Trent. Everything else, just W's everywhere, but... Yeah, Brian said just ask Dele Alli. I did see that video, Brian. I have to say, we'd seen Bernardo Silva get in trouble with the FA and get a ban over his tweet. I would expect something similar to follow for Dele Alli. It was just in poor taste, wasn't it? It really wasn't great. Craig, I went to Venice on my TY trip last year. Said, Adam, nice one. Hope you had a wonderful time, mate. It's good for my daughter to get to go skiing, mate, because I ain't ever fucking bringing her skiing because I like the sun, do you know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere where it's fucking cold. I get enough of that here in Ireland, so when the opportunity came for her to go on the trip, we just said, you know what, we'll save up and we'll see if we can send her, and I'm delighted that she's able to go. Sean Farnes, I hope I predicted. Try and get your words right, Craig. You've had 2 days off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Get a sentence together here. Man's after signing up, or ladies after signing up, and you're here fucking up the name. Sean, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. I hope I got that correct. Pixel_NME said, loves a bourbon. Do you know what? The reason I probably hate bourbon cream so much, mate, is because when I was younger, my mum was a real, like, no sugary shit and stuff like that. So we used to get a 6-pack of the crisps a week to share between the house. So like a 6-pack of cheese and onion crisps. We got 1 large bar of chocolate each a week. And there was always a packet of bourbon creams in the fucking press. So I'm sick of them, mate. I'm sick of bourbon creams. I haven't bought them since I've been an adult. Yeah, that's why I'm anti-bourbon creams. Definitely. But Jaffa Cakes can go fuck himself. I just want to make that very, very clear right here and right now. Jaffa Cakes are the food of the devil. I don't even know what they are. Are they a biscuit? Are they a cake? Whatever they are, they taste fucking stale to me. So if you're a Jaffa Cake lover out there, I'm sorry, but I'm not on that team. I just can't do it, ladies and gents. Shortbread is the best because Robbo said so. So Joshua, I love a bit of shortbread, mate. Now I do love a bit of Scottish shortbread. I won't lie to you. Swap Salah for Mbappe, said Leon Khan. Hand on heart, I would. Hand on heart, Leon, mate, I would. I've said this before. He's probably the only player in the world that I would consider it for. But you're talking about, a future multiple Ballon d'Or winner, as far as I'm concerned. And nobody wants to lose Mohamed Salah. So, don't come on here and say Craig's saying sell Mohamed Salah. But I'm saying, if that was an option, I would take it. That's all I'm saying. Craig, have you tried the 2 new Diet Coke, strawberry and lemon and lime? I've tasted the strawberry one. My daughter got a bottle of it. Wasn't for me. I'm a purist, you know what I mean? Got my can of Diet Coke here beside me, as always. But I'm a purist and I'll just stick to that, thanks. Jaffa Cakes are for the bin, said Billy. I always knew you were a top fella, Billy. I knew it. I knew it from day one, mate. Jaffa Cakes are beautiful. Oh, V8, mate. You're having a mare tonight. You're having a mare, pal. Loads of Jaffa Cake lovers. Let me just say to each and every one of you Jaffa Cake lovers, from the bottom of my heart, go fuck yourself. And I mean that in the most kind, beautiful, loving way. Chocolate hobnobs are the best biscuits. Too much. Watch the beautiful reds. Right, let's move past the biscuit chat. Let's get stuck into the stuff that we all want to talk about. The Kai Havertz stuff. The Felipe Coutinho stuff. I'm sure that you guys have seen these stories doing the rounds if you're on social media. Even if you're not on social media, I'm sure that you'll have seen these stories doing the rounds. So, let's start with Felipe Coutinho. And it seems that Barcelona have lowered their asking price for Felipe Coutinho to in and around £77 million, which by the looks of it, still isn't enough to tempt Bayern Munich to make that 2-year loan deal permanent. They seem to have their eggs firmly in the Leroy Sané basket with regards to bringing a player in. So where does that leave Felipe Coutinho? Will he go back to Barcelona? Or will he go elsewhere? I think this is lazy journalism. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it, about the possibility of would they take Coutinho back. It's a very difficult subject to breach when you're talking to somebody like me, somebody who is an angry bastard, as I'm sure that you guys know. And I'm somebody that doesn't really like players coming back, particularly when, in my opinion, the best of Coutinho has already happened. I'm not going to deny that the man has the world at his feet, capabilities of the world at his feet, I should say. But for whatever reason, maybe it's that he's not getting enough love, maybe it's that he's not got the same levels of fitness that he had at Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. I don't know. But it's just not working out for him. He didn't even start against Leipzig the other day in a top of the table clash in the Bundesliga. He came off the bench and didn't really do too much because I was watching the game and he didn't impact it too much. So we have that on the thumbnail tonight and we have a possible 77 million. But then you look to the other side and somebody who I believe that Klopp would genuinely have an interest in, and that's Bayer Leverkusen's Kai Havertz. Somebody who can probably be got for around €100 million, which is there or thereabouts, 80 million quid, I suppose, depending on how the old currency exchange is going. And a couple of people are saying, a couple of sites are saying that he's top of Jurgen Klopp's summer wish list. Now, if he's top of Klopp's wish list, we know he's available because Leverkusen have said that they're going to hang on to him for this season, but there's always been talk that he might move on in the summer. If I'm putting money on it, the smart money was always on Bayern Munich, but we're just after saying that maybe Bayern Munich are going in there to get Leroy Sané. Now, Bayern Munich aren't short of a few quid. They're a very well-run, profitable football club. But it's very rare that they would dip into the market in such a huge way to maybe bring 100 million on Kai Havertz, and then let's say another 80, 100 million on Leroy Sané if he was to go, and then they probably need to look at maybe replacing Lewandowski at some point down the line as well. So Timo Werner was linked there. I don't know what to think here, ladies and gentlemen. The cynical part of me, doesn't believe the Felipe Coutinho stuff. The Kai Havertz stuff. Do you know, I genuinely don't know on this one, and this is just my opinion, and then of course I'll dip into the chat and see how you're all feeling. The quality of the player is there. Has he got the work rate to fit into a Jurgen Klopp system? He doesn't seem to have it at Leverkusen, but that doesn't mean he's not capable of it. But what I can say is, whoever Jurgen Klopp has singled out as his number one transfer target for the summer, and we don't know if that's Timo Werner, we don't know if that's Kai Havertz, we don't know if that's Jadon Sancho, we don't know if that's AN other. We just don't know yet. But we can be assured that the hit rate of success for Michael Edwards, for Jurgen Klopp, for the recruitment team at Liverpool Football Club is astounding. So whoever we go in for, I'm sure that one, they're going to want to come and play for Liverpool Football Club and Jurgen Klopp, reigning European champions, Premier League champions elect, the best club in the world, Super Cup winners. Do you know what I mean? They're going to probably want to come here. And as somebody's just pointed out there, Leon said, isn't Minamino in that Havertz role? I thought so, mate, but at the minute, when we've seen Minamino play, and it's very, very premature in his Liverpool career, he started through the centre, which confused the shit out of me. I have to say, when he first started against Everton, through the centre, that confused me, because I was assuming he was going to either play in a wide forward position, or maybe play in the hole behind the front three. So, again, I'm going to turn it over to you guys now, and see what you think. Phil said straight away, Havertz is a primary target. How often do I do live streams? Usually pretty much every day, mate. I've had a few days off because the lads are on a bit of a winter break, but let's say 6 days out of the week. 6 days out of the week. And our second channel is going to be going from the summer as well. So we're going to be covering the Euros, we're going to be covering other Premier League games, Champions League games, maybe some La Liga games, Serie A games. So if you haven't subscribed to our second channel, crack on, make sure you do that. There's a link in the description below as well. We're really going to be kicking that off with a big bang. And of course all of our watch-alongs on both channels will also be going out on Hot Mic as well. Starting from hopefully the Norwich game on Saturday should be our first game that we're also putting live on Hot Mic. If you don't know what Hot Mic is, have a Google of it. It's a cool new app that allows you to sync our commentary or your favourite pundits or your favourite commentators' commentary to your television and have my commentary, let's just say my commentary for argument's sake, synced perfectly with your television or your computer or your coverage of the game. It's really simple to do. You go on, you select the game that you want, you select the commentator that you want, then you find the sync button, press sync, it listens to your telly or your device and syncs it up effortlessly. And I think this is going to be one of the new big innovations in broadcasting, particularly for people like us who, aren't pros. So yeah, keep an eye out for us on there as well. Really excited about working with Hot Mic. The Anfield Wrap are already on there, Redmen are on there, and yours truly is going to be on there. And you know what, I think we'll do well. I think because the watch-alongs are what's built this channel, let's be fair. I'm really looking forward to it, really fucking excited. Will I watch the Euros? I think I've just answered that one, mate, so well in. Nice question, good timing. Yes, I will. I've always admitted I'm not the biggest fan of international football, but I am a football junkie. So yeah, I probably will, mate. I'll probably watch nearly every game that I can get my hands on. Casper wants to know, Kai Havertz or Sancho? For me, mate, honestly, hands down, it isn't even a competition. If I'm pushing money aside, Jadon Sancho. For me, personally. Boya said, Havertz is a good player, but what would that mean for Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita? Would it mean somebody goes out the door? Well, it looks like, Boya, as things stand, Sheridan Shaqiri is probably going to leave in the summer. Adam Lallana's contract's up in the summer. Strongly linked to you guys, actually, funnily enough. Love to get your thoughts on that. Brendan Rodgers reunited with the player that he brought in. And on a free transfer as well, Boya, so could be interested. I heard Spurs are interested as well. Arsenal, West Ham. So that might free up a spot, mate. My initial instinct to that is, well, that spot should go to Curtis Jones. And I think Curtis Jones deserves that spot. But you are right, mate. It is a position that we're kind of stacked in. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Curtis Jones. There are players who can play in the hole. Hello, Craig. Hope you and the family had a great weekend. It feels like forever since the Reds plays. Andrew, mate, it does. It really fucking does, doesn't it? One weekend without the Reds, and I'm sitting here just, going around the house going, are you one of my kids? Do we have a dog? It's weird, like. Yeah, I get you. I hear you, man. I would take Charlie Adams. Alright, V8 now. It's time to put down the blue wicket, mate, or whatever it is you're having today. Big man Steve said, pray that Neco Williams gets in the Wales squad for the Euros. On Neco Williams, actually, a lot of chatter about that he's going to be offered a well-deserved improved contract. He signed his first professional contract with Liverpool Football Club last year, or last season. I'm not sure which one, I can't remember. But it looks like he's going to be rewarded with that well-deserved new contract as well. We've often talked about backup fullbacks on the stream and whether we need to bring them in. And it seems like the right-hand side is absolutely sorted now because Neco Williams seems to be gone from strength to strength. And I'm not going to say he's going to be pushing Trent, but he's definitely going to be the number one go-to with regards to a backup in the right-back position by the looks of things. So maybe left-back, maybe Adam Lewis, I don't know. Larouci, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But good news on Neco Williams. It is a well-deserved contract if he gets it. No idea how much he'll be getting. That's quite frankly none of my concern either. But great to know that we're looking to tie up the best talent at the club. So yeah, there you go. Good news on him as well. What about this Diego Carlos bloke, said Ben Home. Diego Carlos, obviously for those of you that aren't aware, Sevilla centre-back, was linked with us a while ago with a summer move, I think, Ben, if my memory's correct. 50 million was the number that was thrown out there. I've watched them a few times and I don't see a £50 million centre-back, mate. I've got to be honest about it. Not what I've seen. But look, who the fuck am I? Do you know what I mean? I'm not Jurgen Norbert Klopp, so for what I've seen, I don't know. Not for me. Not for 50 million quid. Anyway, not from what I've seen so far. Liz said, it feels like we've had a summer break without a match. I want 6 more wins. Yeah, it's going to be great. Look, we've got the game coming up on Saturday against Norwich, 5:30pm kickoff, which we will, of course, be covering with a watch-along on the channel as always. And then the big one, Atletico, coming up next Tuesday as well. And for those of you that aren't aware, I'm going to be having a chat with Graham Hunter. Yes, the Graham Hunter, ahead of those Atletico games. So really looking forward to hear what Graham has to say. If you're not sure who Graham is an expert on Spanish football. Himself and Guillem Balaguer, probably the two biggest names in Spanish football when it comes to punditry, commentary and opinion. So really looking forward to catching up with Graham and hearing what he has to say about Diego Simeone's Atleti and their issues with strikers. They have a few injuries at the minute. Felix is out, Costa's out, Morata's out. So I'm really interested to catch up with Graham, and we're just trying to nail down the time, but it won't be live, unfortunately. What we'll have to do is record that at an earlier time of the day, and I'll put the video up, but I cannot wait. And closer to the time, I will of course ask you guys for any questions that you'd like me to ask Graham and stuff like that, so don't worry, I'll give you guys plenty of notice on that one. Diego Carlos better than Lovren? Yes, maybe Casper, but 50 million for somebody who's going to come in and be 3rd/4th choice centre back, because Joe Gomez's position right now, Joel Matip has just signed a new contract. We also have Sepp van den Berg and Kiana Hoover who are progressing rather nicely at the underage level as well. Would I sign Koulibaly? Asked Digger True Red. No, not because I don't think he's good enough, mate. He's outstanding, no doubt about that. But you're talking around 100 million, maybe a little bit less, because he's now 29 years of age, maybe 28, 29. That seems more... No, sorry. And only because of the price, and only because I don't think we really need him. But I'm not doubting the guy's quality, absolutely. What have we got? I like the French defender at Leipzig. Is that Upamecano or is that somebody else I'm thinking of? The chat's starting to move quicker these days. It's difficult to keep up with the questions. Cash Boyle, said Joanne Fisher. I've had a little interaction with Cash. She started a new job, so congratulations to Cash on that one. And no doubt we'll get around for a chat at some point, Joanne. I've been really, really busy lately, and so was Cash. Felipe Coutinho is age 27, born 12th of June 1992. Thank you for that, Ian. I knew he wasn't heading for 30, mate. I knew he wasn't that old. Rabadan said, God, I'm looking forward to the Atletico game. Great team, great manager, and the best keeper in the world. Second best keeper in the world, mate. Second best keeper in the world. But we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them as well, mate, over 2 legs. I do. I think we'll be too strong for them. As I've predicted all along, I'm going to go for a pretty low scoring 2 legs. But if we could get out of there with a score draw away from home, of course you want to go over there to try and win. But Cholo's going to set them up to be very hard to break down as always. But they aren't the Atletico of old. They're a good side, well organised, in a wonderful stadium. But I think we should be looking to beat them over 2 legs. What is the time at my location? It is 10 o'clock, 1 minute past 10. Ziyech is class, said Keegan. Curtis Jones is the homegrown hero. Yeah, Ziyech, I think he's at the right club from Keegan. I think Ajax is where he should be. Napoli have valued Koulibaly at £127 million. Yeah, hence pricing him out of a move, probably Morton, mate, because I don't see anybody going in. Like, United have spent big on their centre-back when they brought in Harry Maguire in the summer. I don't see anybody going and dropping £127 million on a player who, quite frankly, you're not going to get a sell on fee for in the long run. I'd seen him linked to PSG as well, and he would be a bit of a PSG signer, wouldn't he? And a wage of 200 grand a week, which would be quite reasonable if you're talking about bringing in somebody for that amount of money. Tony Watson, good evening to you, sir. Said evening, Craig. I've heard rumours of Firmino leaving the Mighty Reds. Yeah, we touched on it earlier on, Tony, and we can defo put that in the bullshit pile, mate. Because firstly, 75 million wouldn't buy his right foot, and that's the number that's been mentioned. Why would he go to Bayern Munich when he's at the best club in the world? Bayern are a fantastic club, don't get me wrong, but they're a long way behind the Reds at this moment in time. What have we got? Firmino, Bayern, what a joke, said Neil before Klopp. Will Klopp have started watching then? Watching which, Scotty? I'm confused here, Scotty. I don't know what you're talking about here. All Black's the second best keeper. Edison is, Alisson number 1, Edison number 2. No, I think, personally, and this is just an opinion, big LC, I would have All Black ahead of Ederson. Yeah, that's my opinion. I think Ederson is good at what he does, but for me, he's nowhere near as good as shot stopping in his positional sense as Jan Oblak or Alisson Becker, but he's still an excellent keeper and he suits Manchester City system perfectly. Would I move Trent into midfield and Eckert right back? No, I wouldn't call him. There's no doubt Trent Alexander-Arnold can play in midfield, no doubt whatsoever. But why move the best right back or one of the best right backs in the world into midfield? Keep my right back. We're sound in midfield, and the way our system works at the minute, Trent and Robbo, they set up so many of our goals. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. But you never know, maybe some point later on in his career. Liverpool wake up and bring in Insigne. He's too selfish, Casper, and he's too hit and miss, mate. I'm somebody that's watched a lot of Napoli over the last few years, a lot, and he's infuriating, mate. I don't know if it's at Napoli because he's a Napoli boy. If he feels a little bit more pressure or he feels a little bit more need to take on responsibility, but yeah, no, not for me. I mean, he's a tidy footballer, but I just don't think, what is he now, 28 years of age as well? Not for me. He's a name that's been linked to us for quite a while, and I think Napoli will probably have a clear out in the summer because it's a bit of a shit show there at the minute. Patbot said the Nike sponsorship money will help, plus if the player we're after is with Nike, that may sway it in our favour. There's no doubt, mate, you're right, you're nailed on about the Nike money going to help us. It can't, but we've got a rumoured £30 million per season deal with Nike, with 20 million on top of any shirt sales and merchandise sales as well with the LFC badge on it, so that could add up to a rather significant amount of money indeed. Is Pickford a world-class keeper? No. Pickford, for me, and I was only thinking about this earlier on, and this isn't me having a cheap shot at Jordan Pickford, this is my genuine belief. I think if I'm Gareth Southgate going into the Euros in the summer, I'm going with Dean Henderson. He's the man in form. I know he had a fuck up against Liverpool. I know he's only 22 years of age, but I know he's also a United loanee, which makes it harder to say, but I really do think Dean Henderson is a very, very good keeper, and Pickford's suspect. Let's be honest about it. He gets away with too much because he's English. Fuck up after fuck up. Not for me. I would have Dean Henderson over him if I was an English fan, which I'm not, obviously being Irish. If I was looking for the Euros in the summer, I'd be looking for Henderson to start over Pickford. Nasir said Traore replacement in some games. I don't know if Adama Traore is suited to Liverpool. I know that sounds weird when I'm about to say he's an excellent footballer. Probably the most improved player in Europe this season, if not one of them. I just think he's at the right club for his development at the minute, and Wolves are a club looking to go forward, so another season there wouldn't do him any harm whatsoever. Gunjeet said, Craig, would you rather Sancho or Havertz or Werner? So they're all ors. See, I would say Sancho, but I think Werner would be more of what we need, if that makes any sense. I think Sancho is the marquee player of the three of them, but I think Werner is more what we need. What's this? 1 second. Let me just go back up. Oh, I think he's deleted it. I was about to read that one and he's deleted it. Who remembers the days we were constantly linked to Goetze and Royce? Yes, I do. And I remember Goetze turning us down as well, mate. Do you remember when... It was when we lost to Sevilla in the Europa League final. It was around that time. There was a load of talk that him signing for us hinged on whether we won the Europa League and qualified for the Champions League the next season. We didn't and he didn't. And I think, again, we move on from there. But yeah, Royce was somebody we were linked to forever. Peter Van der Shan said, Pickford not even Premiership class, let alone international class. Yeah, mate, but he saved a couple of penalties. That makes him world class, apparently, in some people's eyes, Peter. Yeah, Dean Henderson is the best English keeper, said Vance McDougall. Pickford's got little arms, he can't even touch the crossbar. Who's 33? Benjamin, I'm lost. Who's 33, mate? Who are we talking about here that's 33? Football Frenzy said I'd pick Ben Foster, but I'm a huge Liverpool fan. Look, Foster's a decent keeper. Lovely fella as well, by the looks of things. But for me, again, it's just opinions. I'd go with Henderson. Darkness said if Havertz and Werner come to Liverpool, Klopp's going to be building the German national team as well. I don't think they'll both come. I actually don't think Havertz will come to Liverpool, if I'm being honest. I think he's nailed on for Bayern Munich. He has spoken about the fact that he might move on and he might move outside Germany, and that he's okay about moving outside Germany. And there aren't many clubs that could probably afford him, but I mean, would I be angry if we signed him? No, not at all. Havertz looks like a tidy player, but I don't know, it's very difficult to gauge who we're genuinely interested in and who we aren't, because we've been really clever about the way we've gone about transfers. Like, let's turn back here. Minamino, nobody had a sniff. Fabinho, nobody had a sniff, and they just got done. And that's what I love about the way things are at the club right now. Rabadan said Dean Henderson is great. I can't stand the fact he's a United player. It is tough. It is tough. Can we have a chat as well at some point? Remind me a little bit later on in the stream about the Manager of the Year award, because this is a topical thing that's going around now about whether it should be Jurgen Klopp, whether it should be Chris Wilder, and that's something I want to touch on a little bit later on in the stream, so please do remind me. Can we fuck off about Indy Kyla? Honestly, Connor, I don't give a fuck what the t-shirt seller has to say. Honestly, let him just stick to selling t-shirts and putting out bullshit transfer rumours, because I just... Yeah, no thank you for me on Indy Kyla. Would you take Heung-min Son? I go back and forth on this one. Fastest Regent. Sometimes, is it fastest? Yes, it is. Sometimes I think yes, sometimes I think no. Sometimes I think he's selfish, sometimes I think he's a superstar. It's a difficult one. I would probably look to bring in somebody a little bit younger. So I'd probably err to the side of no, but a very respectful no that would have been a yes 6 months ago, actually. Craig, you said Trent's one of the best world right back. I'd say he's right up at number one. I can't think of any other right back in Europe that even comes close. I'd probably agree, mate. I just try and not sound too arrogant when I'm talking about our players, but I would probably agree with you, to be fair. Mbappe or Sancho? Mbappe for me, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, Mbappe has to be top of any shopping list if you're looking to go out there and get a player, but I don't think we'll be getting Mbappe. That's my opinion. Excuse me. I'll try and remind you, said Joanne. Thank you. With Minamino, we don't need Son, said Darkness. Yeah, again, look, we're probably going to lose Adam Lallana and lose Shaqiri in the summer. Curtis Jones, for me, has to step in as a replacement for one of them. I think he's earned that right. And we've signed Minamino, which could well be the replacement for the other. I don't know. Ashley reckons that Son isn't good enough for us. Alejandro said I would take Son. He can play all three positions up front. Imagine the rotation power. That's always been one of the big advantages for me as well, Alejandro, is that Klopp loves a versatile forward or versatile player, and as you pointed out, he can play anywhere across the front three. Morton said he would love Son at Liverpool. Leon Kahn said Wan-Bissaka is unbelievable. I wouldn't quite go that far. He's a good defender on Wan-Bissaka with tremendous potential, but he's not up at the elite level yet. But he will get there. I'm pretty certain of that. I mean, Wan-Bissaka does look like a very good fullback, just not Trent quality yet. For me, now United fans are going to watch this and go, "Fuck you, you ball twat," and I get that. You're defending your boy, and that's right. I'm trying to be complimentary to him. He is a good player. What have we got? Revanite said, Craig, Werner plus Sancho or Havertz plus Werner? Werner and Sancho for me, mate, defo. Boya said, Son on his day is unplayable but inconsistent. Ibrahim said, Craig, we need big signings because Mo and Sadio will miss half the season. They're not going to miss half the season, mate. They're going to miss a month to 6 weeks. So yeah, not quite half the season. And maybe Naby as well, because Naby, if Guinea qualify, could well be at the AFCON as well. 6 weeks max, said Mega Sting. Exactly. Like, there's no need to exaggerate things a little bit. Hi from Norway. Do you think we'll buy a striker in the summer? Said Martin. It's Werner or now for me, Martin, mate. Now let's not forget we did bring in that guy. What's his name? The guy that we brought in who came on in the FA Cup game against Shrewsbury. Hardy, is it Joe Hardy? Is that the guy's name? We brought him in, so we'll have to wait and see how his development goes. I think it will be Werner or nothing with regards to a centre forward, unless there's somebody none of us have thought of that Klopp has up his sleeve. Curtis Jones to take over from Lallana, natural progression, so Peter van der Schaans. I agree 100%. Love Curtis Jones and cannot wait to see his progression. Do you think that Dean Henderson will sign for Sheffield United in a permanent deal? United would be fucking bonkers to sell him. David De Gea has been looking for a way out of United for... I know he signed a new contract, but he's been looking for a way out of United for a few years. For me, I'd bring in Dean Henderson back to United next year if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or whoever it is that's managing them next season. And I'd have the two of them genuinely go head to head for the number one spot. And you know, competition usually brings out the best in people. So, yeah, I think... I wouldn't sell him if I was United. I think it would be a stupid thing to do. Be great if you're a Sheffield United fan. You're going to pray that Chris Waller's able to swing a permanent deal there. Leon said, I'm a United fan. Trent's better, but no way as good as Bissaka defensively. I suppose it depends, Leon, mate, what you want from the position and what you want from the player in that position. For us, we need Trent going forward, and when our fullbacks do push forward, our central defensive midfielder usually steps back in, splits the centre backs, gives us three at the back, and gives us that cover that we need. So I suppose it just depends on the system, mate. And as I said earlier on, Wan-Bissaka is a very good player. Keegan Murphy said, think Werner and Sancho could be our most likely signings as well. Yeah, it's ain't it Naby's birthday? It is, big man Steve. Correct, mate. And I meant to mention that at the start of the stream. So happy 25th birthday to Naby Keita. 25 today. Congratulations to him. Wait, where is this comment from Doug? Doug said, I don't want Coutinho back at Liverpool. He definitely pretended to be injured to get a move, and I'm not sure the fans would welcome him back. And as I said, that comes from the Dugout Football channel. Thank you for the super chat, Doug. I'm with you, mate. I said it before, I don't want them back either. He forced his way out of the club. We can talk about injuries, we can talk about trying to get senior players to go behind Klopp's back and try and ease that move. We can talk about the bad PR around the whole thing and that his side put out that there was a fallout with Klopp. All of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the decision was made to sell Felipe Coutinho to Barcelona, and that decision has massively benefited Liverpool Football Club in the long term. It allowed us to bring in Alisson Becker. It allowed us to basically finance Virgil van Dijk, who we were probably getting anyway. And as hard as it was at the time, looking back on it, Jurgen Klopp was absolutely right to allow the move to happen. He got his dream move. The fact that it hasn't worked out from a Barcelona for whatever reason you want to say, whether it's the managerial situation, the fans, the lack of love that he got, his abilities of football, or whatever you want to say, it hasn't worked out for him. And that's tough shit. Coutinho, I mean, he would have been idolised here, even more so than he was, and nobody wanted him to leave until he started kicking up a fuss. I mean, we all love Felipe Coutinho, but I don't know, would he come back? If he did come back, if he bangs a couple in top corner, we'd probably all be a little bit less aggro about it. But ideally, I would like us to move on. I'd like us to if we're going to spend that money, spend it elsewhere. Joe Hart to Liverpool. That's a massive no. Do you remember those days? Oh God, they were horrible days. The links Joe Hart to Liverpool. Christ Almighty. Who's your player of the year so far? Asks Ibrahim. Right, so this is one that I'm going to give you three names for, and you're going to probably want me to give you 4 or 5 or 6. But I'm going to go Sadio Mane, Kevin De Bruyne, and Jordan Henderson, because everyone knows I'm a massive Henderson fan, and I love the fact that he's finally getting some gratitude for the stuff that he does. But look, it's easy for you to make an argument around Van Dijk. It's easy for you to make an argument around Salah. But realistically, I think Mane, De Bruyne, Henderson, they're my three. I think any conversation that doesn't involve Kevin De Bruyne is just us being biased as Liverpool fans. He's had a wonderful season. He's a wonderful footballer. I would have loved to have seen him in a Liverpool shirt. I never lied about that. He's tremendous. Sadio's injury might have come at the wrong time, but before that, if you asked me this question 3-4 weeks ago, I'm saying Sadio Mane all day long. So I would probably side just towards Sadio, but I tell you what, if Hendo won it, I wouldn't half be fucking over the moon. I think he might win the Riders Player of the Year, perhaps Jordan Henderson. What about you guys? Who's your Player of the Year? I know there's still 12, 13 games to go for some clubs, but again, this is a democracy, so give us your shout. What are my thoughts on the Messi situation? That he wants a new contract. Another improved contract, fastest regions. That's my thoughts on the Messi situation. I don't think he'll leave Barcelona. I've watched a lot of Messi, and something just doesn't look up with him. Now, I know he got a hat-trick of assists, but maybe it's because he's dropping a bit deeper than I'm used to seeing him play. And he just hasn't got Suarez ahead of him. And Griezmann, I never understood why the fuck they signed Griezmann. I just don't get that. And Dembele's injured. And maybe he just wants to draw attention to the fact that Barcelona need some reinforcements. Frankie de Jong, by the way, was exceptional the other day against Betis. I thought he was sensational. And that there's a presidential election, I think, coming up next year for Barcelona. So maybe he's just putting a little reminder in ahead of those elections that he needs a new contract, or he needs to be shown that the club are serious about trying to bring in the best talents to try and get Barcelona back to the very, 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 very top of world football, because they are battling for La Liga. They are still in the Champions League, but they were pulled apart at Anfield by a Liverpool side without Mohamed Salah, a Liverpool side without Bobby Firmino, a Liverpool side that had Robbo had to go off after that snidey tackle by Suarez. So there is that as well. Ethan said, after watching Werner play against Bayern, I don't think he fits Liverpool. He missed a fucking sitter, didn't he? I remember seeing it, Ethan, and I thought to myself, yep, Liverpool fans all around the world now are going to be going, how on earth did he miss that one? Because it was a sitter. It was set up for him beautifully. He could have even taken a touch, but he just tried to side foot it past Neuer and just put it wide. It wasn't a great miss. Leipzig's team look for him consistently. That's why he gets all the goals. Creates nothing and doesn't score everything. He's dodgy. I think Timo Werner is a very good footballer. And again, we spoke earlier on in the stream about him being somebody who is, about Jurgen Klopp looking for players who are versatile and can play in a number of positions. You get that with Timo Werner. Started out in a wide position, plays for the centre now. Much like maybe Bobby Firmino could be reinvented under somebody like Jurgen Klopp. So I wouldn't rule him out. I certainly wouldn't go as far as to say he's dodgy. I think he's far from dodgy. Casper said Fabian Ruiz to replace Lallana. Curtis Jones to replace Lallana would be my answer to that, Casper. Again, I wouldn't like us to be going to do deals with Napoli, because is it De Lorenzo? Is that the chairman's name? He's a bit of an iffy fucker to deal with, a bit of a difficult person to deal with by the sounds of it. What's the news on Havertz? We went through it earlier on, mate. The news was that Liverpool have been linked with a £77 million knockdown move for Felipe Coutinho, because apparently Bayern Munich aren't going to take up that option to buy, and Barca are willing to drop their asking price. But then again, we've also been linked in the same week with a move for Kai Havertz for in and around the same money. And the kind of question was earlier on in the stream, who would you want? Which one of the two would you like at Liverpool? Would you have Coutinho back? Or do you think Kai Havertz is a more realistic signing and somebody who would suit the system a bit better? My answer is probably neither. Although I would take Havertz, I don't see I just don't see us going for Havertz. I think he's ready made for a move to Bayern Munich. He just has to look to me like one of those players who wants to stay in Germany. But then again, what the fuck do I know? So, a lot of other people are saying, and a lot of sites are saying that he's Klopp's number one target. And if he is, brilliant. I just want whoever Klopp wants. Okay, what else have we got? Transfer window as well. I'm sure you guys know about this. I'm just trying to cover things that I might have missed out on while I've been away. Transfer window has been moved back to the 1st of September in line with the rest of Europe, which does mean that we will be playing Premier League football. The window will still be open for a while, which is I think it's good news overall, because it did put Premier League clubs at a disadvantage. There's no denying that. Lens-based media said, does FFP come into the role of wage bill of a club? If players go on a free, Lallana, Klein, Chirivella, Lovren, don't you get a free profit, or does it go in your favour of your wage bill? Look, mate, I'm not going to claim to be a football expert. What I know is that, and I know very, very little about this, maybe there's an accountant somewhere who's going to help to explain this far better than I, but the cost of a player's transfer and wages, I believe, are put in a balance sheet as an asset of a club and are amortised over the course of that player's contract, meaning that the transfer fee is wrote down over the course of it as an asset on the balance sheet. That's about as much as I know about it. Other than that, you're going to have to ask an accountant, mate, because I don't want to give you fake information. I know as much as I know about this stuff, and I won't ever claim to be an expert on it. Craig, I'll remind you about the manager of the month. Top man, Matt. Thank you very much, mate. Right, look, ladies and gents, let's move on to that and have a chat around that, if that's okay for everybody. Before you get off here, what's the code for Hot Mic? We have to do a trial with them first, mate, to make sure that everything in our systems are working okay and that we can integrate Hot Mic in fine, and then we'll get the code. And as soon as we get it, don't worry, I won't be shy about giving it out, Keegan, I can promise you that. Anyway, as Matt has kindly reminded me, and Joanne earlier on as well, let's have a chat around the Manager of the Year award. So the two candidates seem to be Jurgen Klopp and Chris Wilder. And try and push aside your Liverpool bias if you can. And I want to hear arguments as to why Chris Wilder deserves it. Because for me, I'm looking at this going, yeah, Wilder's done a very good job, no doubt about it, but fuck off. Jurgen Klopp's team have dropped 2 points all season. He's won 5 Manager of the Month awards already. I admire what Chris Wilder has done at Sheffield United tremendously, and I like him. He's a refreshing character. He's great to have in the game. I love his honest, no-nonsense post-match interviews. I just like him. I think he's great for the game, Chris Wilder, and what he's done at Sheffield United is fantastic. But Jurgen Klopp is doing ridiculous things with Liverpool at the minute. So, for me, it's Kloppos. But I want to hear arguments for Chris Wilder from you guys, because maybe I'm missing out on something. Maybe I'm not thinking about something. Yes, Casper, stream tomorrow, buddy. Barca have treated Phil like crap. Possibly, but tough shit, Phil. UK lad, I suppose, mate, is my answer there. You made your bed, mate. Lie in it. You fought hard enough to get there. Maybe should have fought a little bit harder to succeed. Wilder should have got 1 or 2 Managers of the Month as well as Nuno. Said, who was that? Let me just go back. Keegan. It's a bit hard to not give it to Klopp when he wins every game, though. Do you know what I mean? Only dropping the points against United, and other than that, Klopp's won every game. So how could you not really give Manager of the Month to somebody who's won every single game in those months? What have we got? I'd love Klopp to get it, but be surprised if Wilder gets it, said Keane Reynolds, or but would be surprised. Sorry, I think, did you say wouldn't? You said would, but I wonder if you meant to say wouldn't. Well deserved for both, said Alejandro. Fair play to Wilder, but the boss deserves it more, said Vanessa. Jurgen has to win Manager of the Year for sure, said Keegan. Leon said, I feel Klopp deserves it, but Wilder has been unbelievable. I thought Sheffield United were going to get relegated. He deserves some type of award for sure. He's definitely done unbelievable stuff there. I love, by the way, people using the Premier League trophy emoji, which is a new one, by the way, for members. If you missed out the other day and you weren't in, that is the latest emoji that Connor has added to the membership emoji. So now you have my bald head, you've got Klopp, you've got Salah, you've got Van Dijk, you've got WFM, you've got Goal, you've got the Premier League trophy, El Capitan and Si Senor on the way soon as well. So yeah, again, shout out for memberships. If anybody hasn't signed up and you want to, it starts off at just 99p a month, goes up to $4.99 as well. Everyone that joins gets use of all the emojis that you see on the screen. You also get your name in green, like Rabadan, like Joanne. You get the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, and that changes depending on how long you're here. So silver, You'll get, after 2 months, gold after 4 months, and then the red Anfield agenda logo after being a member for 6 months. Then there's the $4.99 membership, which we call the Anfield Agenda Ultras. That gets you everything that we spoke about before, but it also gets you access to our Discord group, which allows you to interact with us when we're offline and allows you to give us suggestions and a bit of a heads up on everything that we're going to do. Like, for instance, tonight before we started, about an hour or so, I dropped the agenda in for the little bits and pieces that we were going to talk about, and some other stuff as well that we have a bit of fun in there as well. So look, there are the links. Connor's put the link in the chat there as well if anybody wants to sign up. We've been blown away by your support so far, so again, thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. Super chats are of course open as always. Super stickers are open. I love seeing the emojis though, they're fucking cool. Well done, Connor, on all the great work for them. What else have we got? Something else I wanted to say as well, wasn't there? No, can't remember. Oh yeah, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already as well. Keep forgetting about that these days. Yeah, our channel continues to grow, ladies and gentlemen. We're ticking around close to the next 100 as well. On the road to 50k. It's a long road, but I think we'll get there with your support. And yeah, so if you're enjoying the stream, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, and of course hit that subscribe button. Right, we're going to keep going. Another 20 minutes or so on tonight's stream. No argument really, said Brian. Wilder's runner-up. Havertz or Coutinho, Havertz of the two, LJ, but yeah, Havertz of the two. Big LC, your name absolutely is green, mate, because I'm looking at it on the screen right here now, mate, in green. So either there's something wrong with your screen, you need to refresh, I don't know, but it absolutely is green, mate, I can promise you. What have we got? Sean Firmino said the season was to end. If the season was to end tomorrow, who'd win Player of the Year? Want to say Hendo, but can't see past Kevin De Bruyne. Sadio Mane, Kevin De Bruyne, Jordan Henderson, in that order, probably for me, Sean. Yeah, if I'm being real and honest about it, probably in that order. De Bruyne has to be a serious contender, has to be. Liverpool's home form is so underrated, said Leon. If we were to continue to be unbeaten, Leon, until April, that would be 3 years. 3 years unbeaten at home in the Premier League under Klopp. I think Crystal Palace 2-1, if memory serves me correct, in April 2017 was the last time we lost a home game. That is, I mean, that's putting Fortress into whole new fucking terms. Casper said Wilder because he's taken Sheffield United into Europe. Well, he hasn't done it yet, mate, but there's a very, very good chance that he will. But yet again, Klopp's going to end a 30-year hoodoo, Casper, of Liverpool not winning the Premier League title, and probably going to do it with a record points total. Still the possibility of a Champions League, still the possibility of an FA Cup. Surely that trumps any achievement that Chris Wilder can make, with all due respect to him and his great season. Who's the most likely signing in the summer for me, said Shay. Of the names that we've been talking about, probably Werner, but again, don't take anything I say other than just me having an opinion. There's no inside information here. I'm hoping for a surprise and we see a Sancho or somebody like that, but either a Werner or somebody we haven't spoken about. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Because the club are keeping their cards close to their chest, which is the way it should be. Klopp's a Rolls Royce, no argument for me. It's only green for me, is it? Okay, well, all the members' names are green for me anyway, which makes it easier for me to read out the comments. Yeah, so if you are a member, your name will be in green for me, and you'll have the logo beside your name, which I hope you all get to see. But yeah, it makes it easier for me to see your comments, which I've never lied about. It is easier for me to read out the members' comments. I do try and read out everyone's, so if you can't, or you aren't in a position to sign up, or you just don't want to, don't worry about it. We're still trying to read through as many of your comments as always. Digger True Red said, I'll be spamming Twitter when we win the Premier League title. Fair play, mate. Proper fucking order as well. Timo Werner said Barry Aiken. Grant said, Craig, thoughts on Trent for Player of the Year? Surely he has to be a shoe-in for Young Player of the Year, Grant. And maybe I've completely just overlooked Trent for the main award, mate. But I think you can make an argument, but I would still stick to what I said earlier, but I think he should, hands down, win the Young Player of the Year award. Big LC said 112 points, which officially will make the 1920 squad the greatest domestic team in the world. I don't think we'll get 112 points, mate. That means we're going through and winning every game, every one of our remaining games. Excuse me, I've said all along, for me, just 101 points, anything over that is fucking amazing. Just 101 points, like it's nothing. I mean, that would still be unbelievable. That means you've only got to drop, 13 points throughout the entire season if you got 101. Ducouré from Watford signed him, said Casper. Don't think he's good enough, mate, but that's just my opinion. And he's Anfield. Welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Change your name. Change your name to the one that I recognise. If anybody doesn't know who Annie's Anfield is, get over to Twitter and follow Annie's Anfield, Annalisa. I don't know if you don't want me giving out your Twitter handle, mate, but she is one of the nicest, most down-to-earth, friendly Liverpool fans you're ever going to come across, and somebody who has provided tremendous support to me, always there with a kind message when I'm feeling down, just being a very good friend to me on Twitter as well. So thank you for signing up, Annie. And I see you did change your name, but welcome and great to have you with us as always. And if you're on Twitter, get over there. I know you've set up a new account on there because you're in a little bit of issue. Annalisa Walsh, so it's at Annalisa Walsh 78, or just Google Annie's Anfield. One of the best Liverpool accounts on Twitter that you will follow. One of the nicest people, wholeheartedly, genuinely down to earth, lovely human being. So again, welcome Annie's Anfield, and thank you for all your support, mate. It means the world to me. It really, really does. What have we got? Nobody's talking about this, but Aki to play alongside VVD said Big Krusty. I think this, pull me up on this, ladies and gents, if I'm incorrect, but do Chelsea not still have a buyback clause on Aki, or is that gone out? He's a good player though. A little bit, his positional sense can be a little bit wavy at times, or a little bit wavery. I don't know what the phrase is. But look, yeah, he's a good player. But we've got Joe Gomez to play alongside Virgil van Dijk, and I think surely that has to be the partnership going forward. Big LT said I think we'll win, or we think we'll go on to win the rest of our games. Just my opinion, mate. I hope you're right, Big LT, buddy. I'm absolutely praying that you're right, mate. Sean said, I heard a rumour about us going for a Nigerian winger. Yeah, Samuel Chukwueze, Villarreal player. Spoke about him a little bit earlier on in the stream. There had been something that came out of France that said that Liverpool had a 35 million euro bid for Samuel Chukwueze turned down in the January window. Bit strange that would only be coming out now if that was the case, and even more strange that it's coming out of France, considering he's an African footballer that plays in La Liga and I think has a Portuguese agent, I think. So the fact that that story comes from France is a little bit weird, but yeah, good player, but very raw still, and somebody who we've been linked to for a few transfer windows now. Craig, would I like to have Coutinho back? Said Cobb plays. Excuse me, mate, for getting your name wrong. No, I'm a bit of a spiteful fucker, mate. I don't like the way he left, and broke me little heart he did. I'm not going to lie. I was completely devastated when he left. Other than Fernando Torres and Luis Suarez, I can't really remember a Liverpool player that I was as upset when we sold. I think a lot of that came down to the fact that we didn't replace him in that window with a like for like. But Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain massively stepped up his game when Coutinho left, and look, our track record speaks for itself since we sold him on. But no, I wouldn't have him back, mate. Not for me. That's just my opinion though. Sign Soyuncu, said Leon Khan. I can already hear Boya screaming at his computer going, no. I haven't seen enough of him to know quite how good he is, Leon. The few bits and pieces I've seen of him for Leicester, he looks tidy enough, but do we need to sign anyone? Let me ask that question to everybody in the chat. If, like expected, Dejan Lovren moves on this summer, leaving us with Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip as the three senior centre-backs, and then Kiana Hoover and Sepp Vandenberg as alternatives, do we need to dip into the market for the centre-back option? And quite how much should we be looking to spend on a centre-back that will probably be at best third choice, possibly fourth choice? So please, would love to know your thoughts on that, ladies and gents. The buyback clause has expired. Thank you, Subi. That was, of course, in relation to Aki. Ella, how are you? Craig just popping in to say hi, watching the election result. Ella, I seen your post, mate, about the fact that you couldn't vote because of the registration issue, without obviously getting into your personal situation and stuff, that's not really for me to do, but I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you at the time, because yeah, you should have had your right to vote, my friend. But yeah, it's very intriguing, isn't it, Ella, what's going on with the vote? Suarez celebrated against you guys, what a snake. That's kind of what makes me like him though, mate. Luis Suarez is one of those players that if he's in your team, he's your shithouse and you love him. If you're playing against him, oh, you want to pull his head off. But that's one of the things that I loved about Luis Suarez. He's just an animal, mate. When he's on the pitch, he just goes 100%, gives it all. It was one of my favourite things about him. Kev Roy, how are you, Kev? Please do go and check out Kev's channel, by the way. Kev is a musician, makes some great music. So I think Coutinho has had his time at LFC. Like to see us sign one big player in the summer, put more money into newsstand, and increase the capacity up by a few thousand. Yeah, we're all praying that we hear some good news on the Annie Road expansion at some point soon. Again, from my limited understanding of the way these size projects work, it's very unlikely that they'll start doing anything until Kirby's finished. I think it's very unusual for a club to go and undertake two capital projects like that at once. But yeah, we are expecting news on the Annie Road end. Talk about another 7,000 maybe. Look, from the plans that we've all seen, or the images that we've all seen posted out there, it looks like a mini version of the main stand that they're looking to do. Stephen Booker said Coutinho leaves and we win the Champions League. We're about to win the league. Oh, say it again, mate. We're about to win the fucking league. How beautiful is that? 30 years, and I remember those 30 years. I know a lot of you young people out there won't remember the pain, but Christ, it's been a long 30 years for this old fella. Stephen said we're better since he left. L. Bogdanley said, would I bring Connor Cody back if Dejan leaves? No, but again, not because I don't rate him, because I think he's a player that's at the right place at the right time in his career and captain of Wolves Football Club. So I think I'd say if I'm Connor Cody, I'm staying where I am. But I do like him as a footballer. Again, tremendous range of passing as well. Craig, if we offloaded Deadwood, we'll need cover. I don't like using the phrase Deadwood. I just think it's a bit disrespectful. I know what you mean, and I know you don't mean it in a disrespectful way. Yeah, interesting. Connor said, if Hoover would be trusted, then go with him for fourth choice. If not, somebody like when we got Clavan in, somebody good, experienced and cheap. It's a good show. Irish selections. Yes, Drew, that was what we were talking about earlier on, mate. Vanessa said a fourth choice centre back is good. It's a long season. Yeah, again, I absolutely appreciate where you're all coming from. I'll probably have a similar mindset to Connor, and how he's just posted there. If we weren't going to promote Sepp, or if we weren't going to promote Kylian and Hoover, then I would like to go along the lines of Connor has there. Maybe somebody just for a season or two to get us through. Jack's page, Coutinho for me, he's a proven player and Klopp clearly loved him in his team. Did he though? That's the thing. I wonder about this. I've always wondered about this. Would Klopp have gone and signed Coutinho if he wasn't already here? Would Klopp have gone and... Like, Felipe Coutinho to me never struck me as a very Jurgen Klopp style of footballer. But look, nobody can deny how good he was when he was here. I'm not trying to turn back time and rewrite history. But it's something I'd always wondered about. He seemed like a little bit of a luxury player under Jurgen Klopp, if that makes any sense. Subi said, Craig wouldn't sign anyone, but if we do, sign him for 25 million max. Stephen Booker said, players come and go, didn't begrudge Suarez, Alonso, Coutinho leaving, it's their choice, nobody's bigger than the club. And that's important, Stephen, that's really important, mate. I mean, at the end of the day, we all had our favourite players and will have our favourite players over the year, but it's the club that we support, and it's the club that we'll continue to support no matter who's there. It's the badge that's on their chest that's the most important thing. Annie's Anfield said, devastated when Phil left, but think we all need to put it to bed now. We got Van Dijk and Alisson with the dosh we made. Would love to see Werner coming in during the summer. Again, I pretty much echo what you've said there, Annalisa. Yeah, what a way of investing the money. And look, right now, they're trying to take, what, £77 million for a player that we got pretty much double that for nearly. So it shows that it was probably one of those things that I don't like giving Ferguson credit a lot of the time for a lot of stuff, but he was a master at moving players on at the right time. Now, I know Coutinho kind of forced his own way out, but much like Torres, get them confused there. Much like Fernando when he left, he was never the same. What game is it you and Connor are going to? Villa, George. Going over to the Villa game. Unless, of course, it's fucking moved, which would just be my luck. What's going to happen to Melwood after Kirby? I believe it was sold to a developer, and I think there's going to be affordable houses built on it. From what I remember, mate. Big LC said 12 days until the Gypsy King and the Bronze Bomber go at it again. You're a bomb squad. I'm full on Tyson Fury, mate, for that fight. First one was a very interesting fight, but I can only see Fury having improved his fitness levels in between. But then again, you're talking about somebody there, and I won't deny that Deontay Wilder has one-punch knockout power. Like, freakish one-punch knockout power. It's a really intriguing fight, and the winner hopefully setting up the fight that we all want to see. We want to see an undisputed champion, so we want to see the winner of that fight Joshua if he gets through Kubrat Pulev, which looks like it's going to be his mandatory. And then of course you've got Dillian White fighting Alexander Povetkin. Derek Chisora is going to be fighting Alexander Usyk. It's a stacked division at the minute, isn't it? And it looks like we could have our Liam Beefy Smith fighting Cal Brook maybe as well at some point. Coutinho is the exact same style of player to Royce. You're going to have to excuse my lack of knowledge on this, but did Klopp sign Royce, or did Royce come through the system at Dortmund? Again, excuse my ignorance on that. I genuinely don't know how Klopp or how Royce came to Dortmund. Gerrard should be the victory parade bus. No, he shouldn't. Gerrard had his moments at Liverpool. Gerrard is Rangers Football Club manager. Why would he be on the Liverpool bus? I mean, I don't get me wrong. I know where you're coming from, and I know that you're trying to say and do a nice thing. But Steven Gerrard had his moments at Liverpool, and maybe we'll come back someday and manage the club. Craig, have I watched Parasite? What a movie. No, I'm not really a movie person, Gunji. I'm more, if I have time, I'll watch a stand-up comedy act rather than a movie, mate. But yeah, won the Oscar. Congratulations. For Best Director, I think it was. Did it win Best Film as well? I think it won Best Film as well, actually, didn't it? Would love my uncle to fight Cal Brook. Honestly, Subi, at this point, I'm fucking sick of Amir Khan not fighting Cal Brook. I know you've said he's your uncle. I know, look, Amir Khan is an exciting fighter, mate, but that's one thing that's just annoyed us all as boxing fans, and I'm not saying anybody's to blame. The fact that Brook and Khan haven't fought, mate, it's just a real shame. Big LC said, look, if I'm honest, I know Tyson's going to win, but I'm American, I've got to back my boy. Having said that, overall I'm Team AJ, hashtag 2-time. It's just a great division, mate. You can have arguments for any of them. You can talk about one-punch knockout power. You can talk about maybe AJ having a mixture of both, and then you can absolutely talk about the fact that Tyson Fury is the best boxing ability of the three of them. If we're going to buy somebody, we should buy Koulibaly, said Paddy's Bricks. 100 and something million though, mate, for a centre-back that we don't really need with regards to the fact that we've got Joe Gomez and Matip there. I can't see us spending that much money. A wonderful footballer. He joined from Bremen. Thank you, Leon. I genuinely didn't know that. Steven Gerrard would refuse the gesture. He'd be too embarrassed to do what John Terry's waiting someone else's celebrations. And he's the manager of Rangers Football Club. It's important that we talk about that point as well. Liverpool's Gerrard's veins. He will be coming home. Look, football's a business at the end of the day, and if Steven Gerrard comes to Liverpool as manager someday, as much as we'd all love it, and I have a fucking Gerrard shirt in my hall, I love the guy, I would want it to be because he's earned it, and not just because it's a nostalgic thing to do. It's a cutthroat business, football. Am I the only person who hates Villa after what they did to our kids? I don't have anything for or against Villa. I mean, they won the game. They had a job to do, and they went out and did the job. I don't hold that against them for that. It's a fight everyone wants to see. I think it's a fight everyone wanted to see, Subi. I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose it probably would still pique a lot of interest, Cam Brook, but I think I think everyone feels maybe the moment is gone, but look, hey, I guess we'll have to wait and see, my friend. Alan said, I just came in. Did you talk about the possibility of Gerrard coming back for 5 games? If not, did you hear that petition going around? It is... I haven't heard nor seen the petition, Alan, mate. I just think it's a bit... My own opinion, it's a bit cringy. Steven Gerrard has spoken about the relief, I suppose, that he'll feel when Jordan Henderson does the Hendo Shuffle and lifts that Premier League trophy aloft in May. And look, for me, fuck Gerrard's slip having nothing to do with us losing the league that year. I could give you 3 or 4 other reasons why we didn't do it in 13-14, and I've never and will never hold anything against Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard I hold in the highest of esteem, but no, he wouldn't want to do it, and nor would the club do it. It's just weird. Naby has a higher potential than Coutinho, said Ibrahim. I love Naby Keita, mate. You're not going to get any arguments from me. And again, happy birthday to Naby, 25 today. You're not going to bait me, Brian and Connor, so you can keep posting it as much as you want. You're not going to bait me into it. Gerrard won't come for a medal even if you ask. He's too proud, and he's the manager of Rangers Football Club. What's he going to just say to Rangers, do you know, I can't make it today because I'm getting 5 games for Liverpool so I can collect a winner's medal? He just signed a new deal as well, didn't he? At Rangers recently enough. Yeah, he did. He signed the deal around the same time Klopp signed the deal. Both till 2024, if my memory's correct. Larry Leach, how are we, sir? Our friend from Calgary, Canada. Welcome. Great to see you in the chat again. I hope life is treating you well. What's this? All this talk about AJ versus Tyson versus Wilder. Come on, we all know the big one is KSI versus Jake Paul. It really isn't. It really, 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 really fucking isn't. I'm telling you, no. Just no. I've given it a try twice. I've tried to watch it twice. I just can't do it, man. It's just not for me. I never begrudged them the right to make a few bob. Fair play to them, but I won't be watching any more of it. Brian said, can we start a petition to ban football fans from starting a petition? I'll sign it, Brian. You start it and I'll sign it. Craig, our chat has had 118 views on YouTube. I don't know if that's good or bad for your channel, Douglas, but I enjoyed our chat, mate, as I always do. I always enjoy having a chat with you about football. And if you haven't checked it out, go over to the Dugout Football channel there. We had a little chat about Liverpool during the week on Douglas's channel. And yeah, going to get Doug on for a chat on our channel as well sometime soon. You have to watch Make Us Dream, said Billy. Mate, my list of things to watch just keeps getting longer and longer, and I need to get my finger out and start watching some of it. Right, 5 more minutes, ladies and gents, and then we'll call it a night, and I'll see you wonderful people tomorrow. You're going to get us every night this week by the looks of it, right through until the game on Saturday. And then, of course, we've got Graham Hunter. I'm going to be filming a segment of Graham Hunter over the weekend via Skype. So, again, later on in the week, I'll ask you guys to get your questions and stuff in for that little preview ahead of the Atleti game. Didn't like the way Villa celebrated the goals. I mean, for me, mate, for Villa, that was massive. Look at it now. They're in a cup final. So, they beat our kids, battered them 5-0. I think, actually, it was very unlucky for our kids to, in both penalty areas, for that to have ended up 5-0. But look, Villa won the game. They went on to a semi-final against Leicester, which they've won, and that's taken them to Wembley. So, you know, you got to say, well done to them. I mean, honestly, well done to them. There are better defenders than Lovren out there, no doubt about that, Paddy, no doubt. But just the thought of spending 120 million, mate, to replace Dejan Lovren it just doesn't sit well with me personally. I just don't think we need it when we've got Seb Vandenberg, Keanu Hoover, Joel Matip, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk. If I like American comedy, do I watch Dave Chappelle? Yes, mate. I fucking love Dave Chappelle, right from the Chappelle Show right through to now, and the new stuff that he's done on Netflix over the past year. Love him. He's the best. Right, what else is it before we finish up? More trophies and Premier League losses in the last calendar year. Remarkable, said Larry. It's ridiculous, mate. Where we are as a football club right now, it's unbelievable, mate. It is just unbelievable. Do I think we'll break the 49 games unbeaten record? That game at the Etihad is going to be difficult. There's no denying that. Are we capable of beating Manchester City at the Etihad? Yes, we've done it previously. Are they capable of beating us? Yes, they're a very good football team. I think and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think that will be the one it might hinge on. If we get through that game, obviously, then the record's done. But I don't know, mate. I'm weird in that all these little achievements are great, but at the end of the day, I want trophies. I want Liverpool to win the Premier League. I want Liverpool to win the FA Cup if possible. I want Liverpool to win the Champions League if possible. And whatever we end up with, whether that's us winning it by 1 point or 30 points, it's just about getting that trophy and breaking 30 years of hurt, mate. Just trophies. I just want us to keep winning fucking trophies at this point. Subi said, in all fairness, fair play to Villa. They still had a good team in Leicester to get through. Yeah, they did, mate. And must have been heartbreaking for Boya and Lee Chappie and all the Leicester guys for that injury time winner that took them through. Robbo found for 7 million. Jurgen Klopp will find, I think it was a little bit more, Dave, if my memory's right, but the way I like to look at that transfer, mate, is we basically swapped Kevin Stewart for Andy Robertson. That's the way I keep to remind myself, because the two transfers were around the same time, for around the same money to the same club. Bayern's trying to buy Firmino. Yeah, we spoke about that later on, Drew. It's just horseshit, mate. It's horseshit on every level. One, do they think they're going to get him for 75 million? No, I think they know that. Two, why the fuck would he move? It would be a move backwards in his career. Everything that we do it revolves around Firmino. The press starts with Firmino. He allows the other two to have some of the freedoms that they have. It's just horseshit on every level, Drew, if I'm being honest, mate. Cameron said he'd take a draw against City. So would I, especially if it meant that record. I'd love to beat them, obviously, but look, I'm just trying. I always try and be honest in what I say, and it'd be easy for me to say and go, "Oh yeah, we'll smash that record. We'll batter City at the Etihad." They're a good team. They are a good team. It's important that we're realistic and remember that. And the Premier League is a really competitive league, which makes it even more ridiculous that we've only dropped 2 points this season. That's what I'm trying to say. It makes it even more astounding, the season that we're having. I'll be glad to celebrate the Reds winning the league on here, said Scotty. Again, I can't wait, mate. I cannot wait. I don't know how I'm going to react. It's weird because people try and compare it to the Barcelona game last year, for instance, in the Champions League. The thing about that game and what made that moment so beautiful was, 3-0 down, players out injured, everything against us. We could see the one goal we were fucked, and we went and did it against all the odds. Whereas now we know we're going to win the Premier League. It's just a matter of when. So I honestly don't know which way I'm going to react. What I do know for certain is I hope we do it at Anfield, so everybody can celebrate with their families and loved ones and friends and people they've gone to the match with all those years. Stephen Booker said Trevor Noah. Don't find him funny, mate. I don't find him funny at all. I don't know why. Just never resonated with me. Don't care about being invincible, said Big Krusty. I just want the title, baby. Look, ladies and gentlemen, gonna leave it there for tonight. Again, if you want to sign up to become a member on Anfield Agenda, there is a link in the description below, and there should also be a button beside your subscribe button. 99 cents a month or $4.99 a month. Either way, you get to get all those cool emojis. You get the Anfield Agenda logo. If you join the $4.99 a month one, you get to join our Discord group as well, which, as I've said before, lets you help shape the future of the channel. Gives you a little tip off on what we're going to be talking about and stuff like that. And again, to everyone that has signed up, thank you. You are helping to secure the future of the channel. That means the world to us. It allows us to keep everything free as well for everybody else, which is amazing. So thank you to everyone for that. Don't forget, it looks like we're going to be kicking off this Saturday, doing our watch-alongs via Hot Mic as well, which is an app that you guys should look into. It's available on every format. It's available on the Apple Store and the Android market, or whatever, the Google Play market, whatever the fuck you non-Apple users call that piece of shit non-Apple phone that you have. Only joking, I'm just an Apple freak. But look, ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, thank you so much for everything. Hendo, love the comment, mate. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're enjoying the show from Aussie. Yeah, thank you to all of you. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Subscriptions are open. Yeah, thank you for everything. Memberships, I meant to say. See, ended on a big fuck up there as well. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9:30. Love to you all. Up the motherfucking Reds.